Teams are coming out on the pitch, and as they do so, I'll run through the Hereford team again. In goal, number 1, Matt Yates. 2, Kieran Thomas. 3, Danny Greenslade. 4, Jordan Cullinan-Liburd. 5, Harvey Smith. 6 is Josh Gowling. 7, Tommy O'Sullivan. 8, Tom Owen Evans. 9, Elliot Richards. 10, Jimmy Oates. And 11, Mike Simmons. On the bench for the Bulls, 12, newcomer loanee from Cardiff, James White. 14, Carl Finn. 15, Theo Wharton. 16, George Lloyd. And 17, James Roberts. Referee today is Richard Gardner. So for your match commentary today, I'll hand you over to Ben Chilman and Mark Ammons.
Thank you, Frank. It's going to be Elliot Richards to kick off for the Bulls. As Frank alluded to, they kick into the meadow end, and it's played back to Tom O'Sullivan, who looks to play it out to the left. And they've slightly lost the pace of the attack, but Harvey Smith checks back, and he's got Ryan Brook with him, but he does well to thread a ball in behind for Danny Greenslade to chase. Out on that left-hand side, low cross in, and it's hoofed up into the high into the air, and the keeper only punches it clear in the 6-yard box, but he gets enough on it. So it's going to be Tommy O'Sullivan to take for the Bulls on this right-hand side, just on the halfway line. It's a poor delivery, really, and it never really got anywhere near any targets. But it is headed clear, and only as far as Elliot Richards, who checked right and then checks back left in centre field and gives it out to Danny Greenslade on that left-hand side, who cuts inside and then cuts back on his man and shoots, and it's straight down the throat of Cameron Mason. It is Elliot Richards who's gone over to take it and plays it short to Owen Evans, who then Elliot Richards gets it back, gives it to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan crosses it in, but it's low, and it falls for Kieran Thomas to shoot, and it falls for Tom Owen Evans on the edge of the box. He checks back and gets it onto his right foot, but again it's blocked, and it's got clear away by Curzon Ashton, and they've got men up now. It's 2v2 for Curzon. It's Oliver Crankshaw. He's got company, and he shoots, and he skies it over the bar. In swinger then from Owen Evans, and it's up, and it's a good delivery, and Cullinan-Liburd was up there, but it was a Curzon head that won it, and Jimmy Oates looks to play it out to Owen Evans again, who then plays a return ball to Jimmy Oates. Kieran Thomas is on the edge of the box, just slightly left, and it falls for Elliot Richards on the edge of the right, and he tried to loft it, and he's sort of high and a bit wide, I think. Greenslade into the mix, onto the edge of the 6-yard area, and it went off a few heads, fell for Simmons. Simmons back towards Greenslade, and Greenslade crossed it back in for Jimmy Oates to head, and it was I don't know what quite happened. I think it went off the defender, and then it got out to Tom Owen Evans to cross back in for Jimmy Oates to hit, and it goes through a crowd of players, but it was just going wide, and there was a few appeals for a penalty as Jimmy Oates fell, and Harvey Smith, who's on his on the halfway line, but then brilliant ball in behind, and Elliot Richards has got it by the corner flag out on that left-hand side. Hasn't got too many options, but Owen Evans has joined him now, and then giving it back to Danny Greenslade, who's up there, and Elliot Richards with right foot shoots, and it's straight down the throat of the keeper on that left-hand side.
He tends to get caught.
Elliot Richards crosses it in, and it goes across everybody, but onto the edge of the box, and hit by O'Sullivan, and it's only just past the post, as Greenslade did well to chest it down inside on the left-hand side of the box. Has got options to his right and finds them in Jimmy Oates. Good play by Hereford here on the right-hand side. Jimmy Oates cuts inside and goes past his opposite number and gives it back out to Owen Evans. Owen Evans crosses it in, and it's a deep cross towards Elliot Richards, and Elliot Richards, it's a great save by Cameron Mason, who's on the halfway line, just slightly right of field, and looks to play a ball in behind for Elliot Richards to chase, and Elliot Richards indeed gets hold of it on the edge of the box on this right hand side, gives it out to Jimmy Oates. Jimmy Oates crosses it, and it's looping, and it falls for Owen Evans. It's another great save. Owen Evans in swinging corner, doesn't get past the first man, and falls to the edge of the box for Luke Wall to then poke clear, but only as far as Danny Greenslade. Back, and Danny Greenslade crosses in. It's a looping cross towards Cullinan-Liburd. Gowling to hit it, and Simmons gets it in,
offside,
but he's probably going to be offside. Yeah, he is offside, and Owen Evans will in-swing it from this left-hand side with his right foot. Could do with a delivery that's going to get up over number 6, who's Chris Rownley, the first man, and doesn't get anywhere near above the first man. But it comes to Greenslade, who shoots, and it's a great goal! Danny Greenslade, who shoots again from about 25, bordering on 30 yards out there. Clearance fell to him. He took a shot and nonchalantly just knocked it onto his left peg, and then just hit it with that great left boot, and it flew into the top left corner. No chance for Cameron Mason, who's made a couple of good saves in the first half. And a good little bit of play by Curzon to keep hold of the ball, but as I said that, they give it away on that left-hand side. Elliot Richards tangles them with Jimmy Oates, but they manage to keep hold of it to the two Hereford players and play it up towards Owen Evans. Owen Evans gets it down for Jimmy Oates, and 1-2 between those two, and Owen Evans receives the ball as he looks to check back in. He's out on that right-hand side, coming in towards the box, gives it to Elliot Richards, who's on the edge of the box, and he thinks he'll have a whack with his left boot, but it was blocked by the crowd of players in front of him, but gives it to O'Sullivan, who recycles well, gives it out to Owen Evans, crosses well, and this time just over Mike Simmons on the edge of the 6-yard box. So Danny Greenslade crosses again, and Elliot Richards would have been underneath it, but a great flick on by McJanet. Tom Owen Evans keeps it in play for what will be another cross from that right-hand side if he can get it through, but it's good defending there by Chris Rowley, who only manages to get it clear as far as O'Sullivan, and O'Sullivan's ball back down the line is going to run out of play. And Jimmy Oates there, he checks back, but Curzon seems to have it covered when he checks back, as the winger seems to tuck in with the full-back, and 2 against 1. But bit of the throw-in came in, and then falls for Cullen Liebert. Elliot Richards crosses it in, and Mike Simmons must have scored.
Oh, it's offside.
Offside.
He's given offside.
Simmons thought that he had, and travelled quite a distance with the ball there, but gave it straight to Owen Evans. Owen Evans, who was coming with the ball, then crossed the halfway line and ran straight into Jonathan Hunt. So Jonathan Hunt can now make a few yards as he travels and plays a great ball down in through the channel, gives it to the substitute, who plays it across the box, and it's going to be a goal for Curzon Ashton. It was played across the box by Rhys Deakin, and it's going to be a goal for Curzon Ashton, and number 9, Lewis Riley, for the goal. So it's a corner in swinging, and Owen Evans is there, and it's going to loop up, and it was Jonathan Hunt. Owen Evans couldn't get near it. A throw-in, level with the Bulls box, out on that left-hand side, taken quickly to Luke Wall. Luke Wall gives it back to his left-back, Cameron McJanet, and it's a cross in, and I don't think it came off the bar, I think, in the end, and it falls for Oliver Crankshaw. Oliver Crankshaw now on this right-hand side. And the Bulls players had stopped because they thought it had gone out of play on that left-hand side, but it came off the bar and gave Oliver Crankshaw has come into the box now, and he goes to shoot, and he's past the side netting as Matt Yates came out and spread himself. And Greenslade, I think, remains the only booking. Anyway, it comes in from O'Sullivan, and underneath it is Oliver Thornley, who heads clear, and then it's cleared on by John McAtee. So Harvey Smith's got to be quick, as the fellow substitute Rhys Deakin was chasing him down inside his own half, but he plays it long, and neither George Lloyd or Elliot Richards could get to it. But Gowling gets it back up to George Lloyd, who lays it off to O'Sullivan, and O'Sullivan looks to play it out wide for Elliot Richards to chase, and Elliot Richards does well to keep it in. Got a player there and Meggs is him and brings it into the box from that right hand side, plays it to O'Sullivan, lovely dinky ball, and it was just over Simmons, and it's cleared, but only as far as Owen Evans, who brings it back out to this left, and Jimmy Oates is with him, and Jimmy Oates is going to concede a throw in there, as it definitely came off him. It's a bit of pinball really just on this right hand side, but it's fallen for the substitute, Sean Miller to shoot, and it's a great goal. Sean Miller hits it, and the bench have all ran out to him. With Jimmy Oates down this left hand side, gives it to Kyle Finn. Kyle Finn's got time, and if he can keep it in, keeps it in, and it goes across the face of goal, but the keeper gets a touch, and it doesn't quite fall for anybody on the edge of the box. Owen Evans to take. It's on this left hand side, and he swings it in. It's a good delivery. It's up high for Gowling, and it's just gone past the post. I thought that was a corner as well. I thought Gowling headed it on to Mo Ali, who was up with him, and but it wasn't to be. The referee doesn't agree with me and Mark here.
So the referees added on more than the 3 already. Matt
Yates comes to take it. And it's a mix-up, and there was nobody there to gamble as Cameron Mason looked to gather the ball from Matt Yates' free kick, and no Hereford player was there to feed on the scraps, as Mo Ali and Cameron Mason are furious at each other, and Hereford were unlucky there for the ball not to drounce, but it's going to be thrown in quickly to James Roberts, and there's going to be another card here given. Tom Owen Evans clipped in towards the 6-yard box, but it's punched clear well, and O'Sullivan looks to flick it back in, but that is it here at Edgar Street. Curzon Ashton go away with the 3 points, and Mark Bradshaw, the Curzon Ashton manager, comes onto the pitch as the Hereford players fall to their feet.